Yeah, baby. Before anyone points it out, yes, I am aware. It is 2024 and I am uploading Elden Ring footage. The game that came out 2 years ago, won more awards than I could count, and literally has a DLC that was just released. And while all those things might be true, look at this shit, man. A good game is a good game. Like the typical Souls-like fanboy, I purchased Elden Ring on release. Unlike the typical Souls-like fanboy, I never played it, so I find myself here 2 years later, finally getting around to do so. Despite my sloth, I have avoided all spoilers, and I've only played enough to beat the first boss on the previous attempt I had those years ago. So here we are. We will be playing Elden Ring until either I beat it, or it beats me. We start off like every great RPG does, and I guess bad RPG, and honestly any RPG really, because character creation. There is an illusion of choice for the starting class, but there was no way I was going to pass on selecting a samurai, so that's what we select. What happens next I still can't really explain. I typically ignore most of the sliders that you come across when going through character creation, but for some reason I decided to browse the eye patches. And then it happened. I saw option number 4, and then I have what I think is an awesome idea. Are you familiar with the Nier series? No? Yes? It doesn't really matter. I spent a lot of time playing Nier Automata, who had this character in it called 2B. Oh, you want to know what 2B looks like? Yeah, not a problem. Let me just look that up for you. Oh. Okay. Do we have anything that is remotely appropriate? Okay, this'll work. Anyways, look at this. I think we all see where I'm going with this. Okay, before you laugh, just hear me out for a second. I acknowledge my lack of execution on this one, but if you wanted any display of talent, you're already in the wrong place. I thought I was fully committed to the whole bit until I realized how many fucking sliders there were. No matter what I adjusted, I either saw no change or I managed to make her uglier. So we kept things as basic as possible, named her 2B, and began our Elden Ring journey. Okay, we are finally getting to some gameplay. We spawn in what appears to be an abandoned church and we make our way towards the exit. I know there is a boss fight at the bottom of this hill, so I prep in the only way that I know how. By taking off all my clothes. Just kidding, I actually do this to reduce my load. To reduce my weight load, so I have a fast roll. We approach the arena, waiting to face the monstrosity that awaits us. Grasping our sword, I feel a strange sense of confidence that this might actually go well. Well, fuck. After being defeated, we now find ourselves in a cave. This is the tutorial area, where we are supposed to learn the basics of the game. We cruise through as expected, mostly ignoring the prompts. The tutorial section is capped off with the boss fight against this soldier. We make easy work of him, though there is a brief moment of concern. Oh gosh. We make things right, and we leave a gift for the guy for the troubles. We then exit the cave, and now the real game begins. We chatted up with this guy, and expertly avoid starting beef with the tree sentinel for the time being. We wander for a bit, taking out some low-level enemies, and becoming more familiar with our surroundings. During our explorations, we come across this cave, and we hope not to run into anything too crazy. There is a pack of wolves inside, but they are no match for our blade. Oh look, a fog gate. Sweet. The Beastman carries a big weapon, but isn't able to connect with us. We are able to use our mobility to make quick work of the foe, defeating him on our first try. We continue walking around and come across a site of grace. Here, we are introduced to Melina. You remember her, right? We keep the conversation brief, and we receive a ring which allows us to summon a horse named Torrent. Using the souls we have, we dump a couple of points into dexterity, and our next goal is to clear this camp. Because if I remember correctly, there is something of value here. Got freaking around. Oh, yeah, call me ram board with how I was just rammed. Come here, this is fucked. So, clearing the camp was a bit more difficult than I anticipated. The first troublemaker is this fellow here. He blows. No, literally, he blows. When he sees us, he notifies the entire camp by blowing into his horn. We could sneak up on him to avoid this, but 2B ain't no bitch. Troublemaker number 2 is the dude with the shield. No, not that dude. This one. I didn't know the timing, bro. He was on timing. We were eventually able to slay the knight, but the cost was great, and with no more flask and a sliver of health remaining, our chances of clearing the remaining enemies seemed slim to none. I freaked it. But against all odds, we were able to successfully reach the treasure of the camp. Quick little tangent here. The moveset with the Uchi-Katana is a thing of beauty. Sheathing our sword allows us to explode out with longer range attacks, while the basic attacks can be gracefully chained together. Without dying once, we're able to chop down all these giants. They will respawn once we rest, but it still felt good to take them down. During our travels, we run into this man, who goes by the name D, who is a hunter of sorts. He warns us of a mariner in the area ahead, and advises us not to enter if we value our lives.
If you value your life, then go no further.
After taking out a couple of skeletons, we run into the mariner that D warned us about. We quickly discover that the mariner's attacks aren't that dangerous. The bigger threat is the skeletons that they summon, who will revive if their bodies aren't destroyed after they are initially defeated. Fortunately, the skeletons kinda just let us wail on the mariner, who has the most telegraph attack I think I've ever seen. After a few rounds of hide and go seek, we land a finishing blow, and the mariner, as well as their minions, go down for good. But that is enough Elden Ring for now. I'm hoping this turns into a series, but that will require me to keep making progress. And I don't know if you know this, but this game's kinda hard. If you made it all the way through to this point, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.